Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is June 18th, 2024, and we are getting into the volume 215 of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, before beginning this video, I'm gonna mention, as I mentioned in every video on this channel, I am not an immigration attorney. This is not legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin, which is currently we're still in June, but there is July 2024 visa bulletin that is out. I do have the video on this channel on it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So let's start with the very first question from Amanda Bruce 9810. I'm all other areas, so all chargeability areas, F2B documentarily qualified November 21, 2022 and priority date October 17, 2016. It's me, my son and my daughter. Patience. Oh my god, what questions would they ask on family interview like this? Help. Alright Amanda, thank you very much for your questions. So let's take a look, see what's going on for F2B first on the visa bulletin. I'm gonna look at the July because we are 12 days away from July visa bulletin becoming effective. So let's see what's going on. You are all chargeability and you're in October 2016, F2B. So October 2016. And we are right now, well, not right now, but in July, we're going to be in May 2016. And you're in October 2016. And we are in May 2016. So you are really, really close. Really, really close. About what? If the visa bulletin keeps moving 1 month, every month, what is it, from May to October, May, June, July, August, September, October. So about 4-5 months. So if we see the consistent movement on the visa bulletin 1 month every month, about 4-5 months, and you're going to be current on the visa bulletin. It's possible that it might be sooner. It's possible that it might take a little bit more time, but you are about 4-5 months away. So that means that once you're current on the visa bulletin, you're already documentarily qualified, so once you're current, your immigrant visa is going to be available. Once the immigrant visa is available, US Embassy, they work to schedule your interview. They schedule your interview. It seems to be about a year, roughly, depending on where you are, depending on how busy US Embassy is in that country. But on average, it seems to be about a year for countries with not too crazy immigration traffic, not too slow, not too, if you get the point. Like for example, we have separate chargeability areas for China, India, Mexico, Philippines. Why? Because there's heavier immigration traffic from those countries. So with heavier immigration traffic, obviously US embassies, they're gonna be a little bit busier. That's why we see in countries like Philippines, for example, it's about 2.5 years after the immigrant visa becomes available. People still wait for 2.5 years to get their interviews scheduled. The interviews are scheduled pretty quickly, but they are waiting for their line for the interview for 2.5 years. But to answer your question, what kind of questions? Because it is F2B. F2B, it's unmarried sons and daughters over 21 of permanent residents. So it is a child-parent relationship. And whenever it comes to child-parent relationships, interviews, they are pretty straightforward, pretty simple, because really at that point, the only thing that the consul, whoever is taking the interview, the only thing that they need to establish is the intent to immigrate. If everything, they verify all the documents that have been submitted during the documentary qualification process, so you will have to bring those. And then they ask basic questions like, hey, where are you going to live in the United States? Where are you going to live with your parents in the United States? What are you planning to do? What kind of work are you planning to do in the United States? In which state you thinking you will go to, or whatever. You get the point. Basically to see if there was any kind of planning done towards immigrating to the United States. Another question can be like, when are you planning? If you get the visa, let's say today, when are you planning to move to the United States? How fast are you planning? Did you prepare? Did you sell any property? It doesn't mean you have to sell anything and do any kind of major preparations for the move. And in fact, they do tell you that. But we still do some kind of preparations for the move regardless, because we are planning, and that's really what they want to see. They want the to see the intent to immigrate. The other thing that they're trying to establish is that the relationship is real, but again, because it's a parent-child relationship, it's very easy to establish. All you have to do is just show the birth certificates, which you already did during your I-130 with USAS and during your documentary qualification during the NVC. Okay, so let me pause the response here and we're gonna move on to the next question from Wesley Saavedra 3026. Still no online application for I-131. Thanks a lot. Let's take a look. I am not sure, haven't looked at the I-131 in a while. Let's see if it's available on this quick. No, it isn't, so we'll just type in 131 and here we go. Application for travel document. Let's see. It is available. Yes, it is available to file online, so that's definitely good news. It'll make it a lot easier, and I'm gonna give you the link for the application. Here you go. And in fact, I'm just gonna say yes it is. Yes it is. There you go. So it's easier. There we go. All right, let me copy this and we're gonna move on to the next one from Helena WJ6QZ. Sometimes YouTube shows me not the names but the handles. I'm having interview in 2 weeks, F2B. Also, there you go. I have no any historical photo with my dad because my mom and my dad were divorced. Does it have effect? Any advice? Helena, great question. No, you don't have to worry about it at all. In fact, from my personal experience, working with immigration attorneys and looking at these cases, and I'm an immigrant myself and I had the I-130. I still have one. Whenever it comes to relationships, child-parent, I have never seen them ask, hey, I want to see a photo with your dad in the childhood. I have never seen that. So that should not be the case. The only times, and it is, I would say it's quite often, that I have seen, again, from my experience and hearing from people, when they ask pictures is whenever it comes to spousal relationships. So husband, wife, immigrating, they ask for photos because they want to see, hey, the marriage is real. That's really when they're concerned with the relationship being real or not real. You can't fake a relationship. Well, maybe you can, but you have to go a long way. Let's not talk about this at all. Whenever it comes to child and parent. But we all know as immigrants there's a lot of stuff going on with fictitious marriages, and unfortunately that's somewhat a common practice. So that's why whenever it comes to spousal relationships, yes, a lot of times they want to see some pictures of husband and wife, during their wedding ceremony, on their vacation, on the honeymoon, whatever, I don't know, but you get the point. So yeah, one thing I'm gonna ask Helena, if you can, I would really appreciate it. It's gonna be helpful for a lot of people who are watching this channel. On any of the videos, you can comment on this particular video. I know the category, but again, type in the category, type in the country that you're from, and how long you have been waiting for your interview to be scheduled after becoming current on the visa bulletin. And I do have the list of countries going. I write them down so that if somebody's asking and they are from that country, and I can tell them, hey, yeah, so right now for F1 in Jamaica, for example, the wait time, Jamaica F1 2015 interview. So yeah, priority dates 2015 in Jamaica. They are right now scheduled for June 2024, July 2024. They're getting their interviews scheduled, kind of like that. And that's going to be helpful for a lot of people because it's very country specific. Whenever it comes to the actual interviews being scheduled, it's country specific depending how busy the US Embassy there is. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Shelly's Shep. I used category C9 when I filed the first time. Do I put C9 again to renew? Shelly's, thank you for your question. Yes, so if you are, I'm not sure what C9 is. Let me double check. I think it might be something with the asylum, but let me double check. 765, I think it is available in the quick access. There you go. So yeah. If you're still in this, if your immigration status did not change, yeah, just put the same exact thing. But let me just out of curiosity see what the C9 is. Instructions. There we go. C9. Okay, maybe not like that. How about like that? No, it's probably in these. No, not like that either. That's fine. All right. I see. So they want the double. Okay. C9. How about that? There we go. So the C9 is, that's the refugee. Do not file under eligibility category C9 as an NIA section 240. No, that's not applicable to us. That's not it. It's the same thing. There you go. Adjustment applicant under section 245 C9. File form I-765 together with form I-485 application to register permanent residence or adjust status. Okay, so I'm assuming your form I-485 have not been processed yet, so you're still waiting for that, for our I-485 to be processed. So if that's the case, then yeah, absolutely, you're still you're applying for the same thing. But let me double check something. If you are an asylum or refugee and have applied to adjust the lawful permanent residence application, do not file under eligibility category C9. Okay, so yeah, so that's not applicable for you unless it is. So yeah, I'm gonna give you, just in case to be on the safe side, because you know better your immigration status, I'm going to give you these instructions so that you have access to them. And it's I'm not gonna give you the PDF document because you know PDF files. I'm gonna give you the page itself, I-765. So from this page, from this link, just scroll down and you're gonna find forms and documents download. So in the instructions for form I-765, just click on that, and then to make it easier to find the C9 category, just search through the document and type in the parentheses, I think that's what it's called, C9, and it will come up. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Maricel Angeles 1205. Good afternoon. Priority date is March 2018 and documentary qualification is May 2022. F2A from the Philippines. When will be my interview date? Almost 7 years now waiting. Okay, let's take a look on the visa bulletin, see what's going on. So you are in F2A Philippines. So F2A Philippines as of July 2024 is going to be on November 15th, 2021. And you are in March 2018. Okay, so you have been current now for some time. I can't tell exactly how long you've been current because right now between March 2018 and November 2021 there is like 3 years, right? But the thing is, visa bulletin does not move 1 month every month. Sometimes visa bulletin moves 3 months ahead, sometimes it doesn't move at all. So the good news is that you have been current for some time now, and I would expect it to be at least 2.5 years, at least. And as I've mentioned earlier in this video, in Philippines, at least from what I can tell, from what other people are commenting who are from Philippines, the US Embassy in Manila, they do take about 2.5 years waiting for your interview. I wanted to say to be scheduled, but the thing is, they schedule your interview pretty quickly. Once your immigrant visa is available, they schedule your interview. But they scheduled it, depending on how busy it is in Philippines, about 2.5 years. They scheduled it 2.5 years ahead. And you're not going to find out when exactly it was scheduled up until 30 days before the interview. So let's say your interview is scheduled, which is possible, very possible for you, somewhere in the end of 2024. Maybe, October, November 2024. Let's say your interview is scheduled for November 1st, 2024, for example. You're not going to find out up until October 2024, 30 days before the actual interview date. They do it because you have to do the medical examination within the 30 days once you receive the official announcement for the interview. With that being said, however, it is possible that you might contact U.S. Embassy in Philippines and ask them, because it's over the phone, it's not official announcement. Sometimes, in some cases, they can tell you. You've been waiting for quite a long time, so I would definitely recommend you do that. So I am going to paste my response and I'll give you the link. And for everyone, if you've been waiting for that long, it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot to reach out to the U.S. Embassy and say, hey guys, I've been current on the visa bulletin now for a year and a half, for a year, for 2 years, for however long, and I've been documentarily qualified, everything is good to go. Just wanted to see when my interview was scheduled for. Again, it's not, they most likely might say, hey, we're not gonna give you that information, we can't give you that information. Or they might say, hey, let us look into the system, and they look into the system because it's over the phone, not official announcement, it's possible. Or at least they can say, well, right now the wait time for interviews is about 2 years. And you can estimate, since you've been waiting for, let's say, a year and a half, and they say it's about 2 years, you have about 6 months. So it's worth a shot. Just be nice, be professional over the phone, and if they say no, we can't give you anything, just say thank you, no worries at all. Pointless to argue with them, but it is worth a shot. But depending on how long you've been waiting for, I'm assuming, judging by the dates that you've given me, it is at least now been 2.5 years since you have been current on the visa bulletin. And if that's the case, yeah, I think your interview is definitely going to be scheduled by the end of the 2024. You should be pretty close. And once it is, please come back to this channel and let us know how long you've been waiting after you became current on the visa bulletin and the country that you're from once again. And I'll write it down exactly, and I'll know exactly that Philippines is that long. All right, let's move on to the next one from Yazan Saleh 1306. Hello, I have heard that you say the average wait time for embassies to schedule is 1 year. Yes, after being current. I am in F1 priority date April 2016 and was wondering whether you think the consulate in New Zealand would be less busy than average, as much less people immigrate from New Zealand to USA compared to other countries. How long do you think I will wait to have an interview, as I would love to have an interview scheduled early 2025? Great question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I would definitely expect a little bit of less immigration traffic whenever it comes specifically to the family reunification cases from New Zealand. So yeah, absolutely, it is possible. So let's take a look at the visa bulletin, see what's going on right now for the F1 all chargeability. You are in April 2016 and we are looking for October 2015. So you still have roughly October, November, December, January, February, March. So yeah, about 5 to 6 months roughly to become current on the visa bulletin. It might be faster. We have seen some good movement on a visa bulletin for F1, so it might be faster. Do I think it's going to be in the beginning of 2025? I would say you are probably looking more at the either middle or the end of 2025, more realistic. And that's if both of yours and mine idea that New Zealand is not as busy. Again, it might be that because it's not as busy and there's not as much of the family preference cases, family reunification cases going through that embassy. It might be the case that they don't have as many resources, as much of the scheduling dedicated specifically to those cases. But in most of the situations, as far as I've seen, at least with this channel and with all my work experience, it seems to be the case that the countries that don't have as much of the immigration traffic, specifically whenever it comes to family reunification cases, they take faster. And when I say faster, 6 months to 9 months seems to be the kind of the norm for those countries. So yeah, you're becoming current roughly in about 5-6 months, possibly sooner, but if the visa bulletin keeps moving 1 month every month, we're looking 5-6 months. So beginning of 2025, you're becoming current. And then about 6 to 9 months, yeah, you're looking mid 2025 to, third, fourth quarter of 2025. All right. And yes, same thing, Yazan, if you can, please, once you get your interview scheduled, please come back to this channel. Let us know how long you've been waiting after becoming current and the country once again, and I'll add it to my list of, I'm gonna have New Zealand on my list. All right, let's move on to the next one from 9090 Shani. Hi sir, my priority date is April 2012, F4 visa category. NBC contacted me back in 2020. After that, nothing. How much weight I should be looking for to get welcome letter? All right, Shani, thank you very much for your question. Let's take a look at the visa bulletin. So you are F4, siblings of US citizens or brothers and sisters of US citizen. You are in April. So right now F4 is on August 2007. So you still have significant amount of wait before becoming current on graph A, and you're waiting for the welcome letter. So we're going to be looking at the graph B instead. And graph B is in March 2008. And you are in April 2012. So roughly you have about 4 more years. 4 more years before receiving the welcome letter. So you still have some time to wait. Give it another two, maybe 3 years, and then you can start preparing for the documentary qualification process. I'll probably make an updated video by then if I have access to an updated NVC portal. I do have right now a video for the NVC portal on what the documentary qualification process involves. So if you're interested, check it out. But yes, you still have some time to wait, roughly about 4 years. That is if the visa bulletin keeps moving. So that's what you're looking at. You're looking at the graph B of the visa bulletin. All right, let's move on to the next one from user, sorry, no name. Is F2A will moved in July 2024? Great question. Let's take a look. So F2A, I don't remember. So let's see. So on July 2024, it's on 15th November 2021. So let's go to June 2024 and see what's going on for June 2024. November 2021 for June. So I guess it didn't. 15 November 2021. 15 November 2021. So yes, there was absolutely no movement. No movement at all for F2A, at least for all chargeability area, for the July 2024, unfortunately. So no move. I'm gonna put no movement, and I'm gonna put this. There you go. All right, let's move on to the next question from Queen Nasrahmet 3199. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, probably am. Hello sir, my category is F1 all chargeability and my priority date is 13 October 2015. And visa bulletin is 22nd October 2015. Still no interview appointment, so when can I get my interview appointment? Great question. Thanks for asking. So you're like right there. You're right there. So you're in 13 October and it is now 22nd October. Well, not now, but as of visa bulletin. So you are current because your priority date is before. All right. So that's definitely great news. Now, let's take out the visa bulletin. See what's going on there, and if there was, so it's October for F1 and it's July, but let me double check June because we are so close. Okay. So as of right now, you're still not current because as of right now, we are still in June. So we still are going by June 2024 visa bulletin. And as of June, F1 is still in July 2015. You're in October 2015. So as of June, you are not current. But in 12 days, we're going to be in July, and July 2024 visa bulletin is going to be effective. And then you will be current because you are now earlier than what the date here is shown. So yeah, As of July, you're going to be current. So sometime in July, August, they will schedule your interview. Here's the thing though, depending on which country you are from, and let's see if you told me, no you didn't. So depending on which country you're from, depending on how busy the US Embassy is in that country, like I said, on average it is about a year to wait after becoming current, after your interview is scheduled. They usually schedule about, on average, not usually, on average they schedule about a year ahead. If the immigration traffic is not that busy in that country, if it's some kind of like small country where not a lot of, family reunification cases going through, not a lot of immigrant visas are issued, it might be faster. It might be 6 to 9 months. But on average, it is about a year. In the countries with heavier immigration flow, it can be 1.5 to 2 years. Philippines, you see about 2.5 years and possibly even more. Some people are waiting still 2.5 years and still no interview. But yes, so they will only schedule the interview in about a month or two. And it will depend on how busy the US Embassy is. And on average, like I said, about a year. All right, let's move on to the next one from Alishba7585. Hi sir, my prior date was 5th December 2021 in F21. Okay, so F2A category. When I get my interview, I got lost. Message documentary qualified. All right, so you're already documentarily qualified. That's great. So let's take a look at the visa bulletin, see what's going on for F2A, and F2A as of June and July both is November 2021, and you are December 2021. So that means that you still have about a month to wait, and hopefully we will see some movement for August, if it moves, because in July there is no movement for F2A, unfortunately. So the August visa bulletin is going to be very important for you. Hopefully we will see the movement for F2A on the August edition. And yeah, once you're current, you're already documentarily qualified. Once you're current on the visa bulletin, your interview is scheduled, and as I've been mentioning earlier in this video, roughly about a year on average, but again, might be sooner, might be a little later, depending on where you're from in the world. So yeah, just really wait for the August visa bulletin. Hopefully there's movement on this channel. Once the new visa bulletin comes out, I do a comparison to the previous months. So if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, there you go, please consider. And yeah, I'm an immigrant, and I'm always looking on the visa bulletin for my own reasons as well, not just to make a video. All right, let's move on to the next question from NSRK549. Hello sir, I am from India and my category is CR1. All right, conditional resident, has been documentarily qualified since 19 April 2024. So now for how long I have to wait for interview? Priority date is 23 February 2023. NSRK, great question, thank you for asking. So CR1, conditional resident, I know it's conditional resident, but it is still within the immediate relative category, which is great news for you because you don't have to worry about the visa bulletin at all. There is no limitations on these visas. The only thing that is the culprit that comes with CR1 is that during the interview you're gonna be asked some extra questions to establish the validity, I guess maybe the word for this is, of the relationship of you and your spouse. All right, but you've been documentarily qualified in April 2024. It's what, we are in June 2024, so like 2 months ago. And yeah, your immigrant visa has been available ever since your I-130 has been approved. So chances are your interview is already scheduled. The not so good part of this is that you're from India, and India is pretty busy whenever it comes to the US Embassy. And I have, from this channel, people commenting from India, they have been waiting for quite a long time. Of course, because you are in immediate relative category, you might not be waiting as long as, but again, it is at the discretion of the US Embassy. Sometimes they give priority to immediate relatives over the 4 family preference categories, and they have a separate windows where they do those interviews, and sometimes they don't. It's really hard to tell which ones do, which ones don't. So potentially you're still looking at another significant amount of time before you actually receive your interview date. But what I would definitely recommend you do is give it at least another 3 months, and then reach out to the US Embassy and say, hey guys, I'm in immediate relative category, CR1, I have been documentarily qualified back in April 2024. I was wondering if you can tell me when the interview was scheduled, and hopefully they will give you that information. I'll give you the link for the embassies in India. They might not. They might say, hey, we can't give you that information. If that's the case, you know, that's fine. Say, it's okay. I appreciate your help. But hopefully they will, because yeah, it's really hard to tell. And once you do get your interview date, please come back to this channel and let everyone know how long you've been waiting, because that would be really helpful, and I'll write it down. And if somebody else is from India and they're waiting in immediate relative category, I will be able to tell them, hey, you know, it's approximately this much of the wait. So these are all the consulates and embassies in India. I'm going to give you this link. Like I said, give it at least 3 months to make sure that they actually do schedule the interview, and then reach out to them and ask them if they can tell you when it was scheduled for, or at least how long the wait time for these interviews is. All right, everyone, so that's it for today. That's all I have time for. I will try to address the rest of the questions hopefully in the next few days. If you have any follow-up questions, just drop them in the comments below. Make sure not to respond to my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not show me those notifications. Drop them in the comments below, and I will be able to address them in one of the next Q&A videos on this channel. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.